Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to our Colliers TV show, where we are profiling leaders in the corporate real estate industry and talking to them to understand what is happening in the industry, how are things going to go forward, as well as also understand what drives people like you personally. So to start with, I want to just go back a little and go to the origin of how this firm started. RMZ is a known brand across the country now, especially with your acquisitions across in Delhi and Mumbai. How did this firm all start, and what prompted you to get into real estate?
Okay, I think basically I was born into, I would say, a partial real estate legacy, and I think and we continued doing the development of real estate, had a great brand equity in the larger family business on the real estate. But what we found was the vision going forward, the larger family was not, meeting the common ground. There was differences in the way everyone looked at the vision going forward for the companies. So about 13 years ago, me and my brother decided to break away from the larger family brand and recreate, start afresh with a new brand, with the ideologies which we both had, which was the same, which is developing commercial real estate in a large way. Because we knew that the onslaught of IT companies wanting to outsource their works into India was growing at a rapid pace. So about 13 years ago, we decided that the business of RMZ, which is the company which we both have started, will stem itself and grow only in the area of commercial real estate for the first initial few years. And we stuck to that position for the first 9 years till we grew the company to a substantial scale and size.
And you highlighted that you saw this phenomenon early. Did you anticipate the level of success and this potential even then, or would you say that this surprises you how successful we have been in this?
So, I would say what pleasantly surprised us, when in terms of, what the bar is and what the bar meant to be.
Yeah.
There were different specs and standards in terms of what it was.
Yeah.
Now, if you see what we did last year, that is year in December 15, we've got the numbers, statistics flowing, and we potentially are one of the highest leasing done in the whole world.
Yes.
For new buildings. So that's what we have pulled through in terms of a small privately held company. We got funded with 2 funds who've backed us, but potentially we pulled out that kind of a throughput, which honestly I don't believe I would have been there, but we aspired to be there, because we used to read other success stories as to how real estate has succeeded. But if I see the common theme, I think it's just sheer perseverance and delivering the promise. Has held those brands and obviously held our brand in good stead. And if I learn from them, those good qualities that we've learned from them.
In terms of the industry, how has the industry's changed from when you started or saw the industry to now where it is? There is a lot of negative perception about the industry in terms of timely delivery, quality, just generally.
Sure.
In many ways, RMZ stands out. So, number one, I just wanted to ask you, do you think this perception is justified? Secondly, what would you advise the industry to do to overcome this?
So there are 2 things. One is, let me put the first things first. Real estate has always never had a good reputation all over the world.
Oh, really?
Nowhere in the world. No developer. If you see every movie, just see any movie where a real estate developer is shown to you. He's come in this big car with this big bulldozers, knocked down poor people's houses and built these multi-story. You tell me which movie hasn't shown it that way.
So we had one notch above the car salesman.
So that can't change. I can't see that change. Whenever I see a movie and I see that showing a real estate developer, you see that's exactly what is coming. He's coming in this big limo, making an offer to this poor guy who's staying in a small, who's encroaching on basically a potential development, making him an offer, and the next thing the bulldozer standing in the back, virtually threatening him to move. So that's unfortunately the perception. There's nothing you can do to change it. It'll take a long time to change it, but unfortunately, you obviously, development happens by displacing somebody. It's never going to happen in an open field. It's never like that. So, and most of the times, some people will get displaced for more to happen. Now that is one. Now if you look at in India, India actually has a lot more challenges. Each city works like a pod. And each, I would say the rules, there's the central rules which govern development, I would say are about 20% of the approvals that are required. 80% are city governed, not even, I would say about 10% state governed, and the rest are city governed, very specific to the city. So there is no one rule that can be applied to all cities. So each time that we have ventured into a new city, we have to be conscious of the fact that that city works in a very different environment. We have to understand the local environment and grow. So in terms of where we are doing our development, we have pretty much understood what the local rules are. And importantly, I would say what differentiates a good developer, I would say going forward, is not only the time we develop the quality and not violating. I think importantly we should the developers should not get lured by the extra bucks that you get by violating, and simply stay with the rule book, because you can simply grow the brand, you can grow it well, you can grow it strong. So to my mind, I think what differentiated us is to understand what the rule books are, to stay within the rules.
Obviously, what's running in the mind of a customer when you're dealing with them. You highlighted some important points, which is the confidence that they have that you will deliver within quality time. What would you say are the top 3 things in their mind that you focus on to ensure that those don't get compromised? When we're talking about commercial clients.
So in commercial, I think safety, of your own employees who are working within your facilities takes a very high importance within. And then obviously it's the convenience, it's a standard specification. But obviously I've seen, they are very fastidious about, is the safety being provided for the employees, which is the international standard they provide to all their employees.
Yes. So definitely commercial leasing has been a home run for some time now, especially in Bangalore. Bangalore has been a leader, and with your space in Outer Ring Road, you've kind of set new benchmarks in leasing the last couple of years. How about residential? There seems to be a slowdown in that market.
So it's like this, I think, again, if I look at the business policy for the organization, it's, we are growing in cities where, where I would say this knowledge capital is being created. I would say manufacturing is growing at its own pace, but we are not following industries where or cities in which more manufacturing is happening. Wherever there's a knowledge build, we are finding that obviously that's where the offices, the demand is going to be there. Now those are the cities to my mind. If I look at any of my park, now if I look at my new park, I find that there are about 70,000 highly qualified people working in each park. The new parks you just spoke about. Now there are about 70,000 to 80,000 people working. Now let's take hypothetical number of a third of them who aspire, and mind you, these are all people who can afford to buy branded homes.
Yes.
Right. So even if a third of them can aspire, I want to buy a home, which is a third. Now take each park generates about 25,000 apartment requirements.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
If I take 4 to 5 parks even on a simple ring road like that, we're talking about 100,000 new homes being generated each for every set of 2-3 parks that are coming out. That's the scale. Now, if you look at where the sentiment is being driven slightly differently as to what people see on television, read in the newspaper of the various slowdowns. But inherently, I can see the demand is just waiting to happen. And once the feel good comes back in the market, it'll explode all over again, and everyone have forgotten as to what was it. But so I see the cities where the knowledge economy is growing, the homes will sell most easily.
Wow. Okay. So what you're seeing is latent demand. It's just the sentiment in the market that's keeping it where it is right now, and you feel that very soon it's going to just come out. And
yes, it'll grow, because the fact that the jobs are being created, the clients are taking
space,
the spaces, and they're happy with taking the spaces. They need more and more at each time. I would say 95% of the clients ask for more even before the lease, the lock-in period is completed.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So part of our strategy is that if you're going to grow with me, I will help you to override the lock-in.
Okay.
And I'll just not read those clauses, because you're just growing with me.
Yes.
And 95% are happy to grow with us because that's the brand to reckon with.
And they're happy with whatever they're getting from your current.
Obviously.
Otherwise they wouldn't.
I've never seen anybody saying, here's your, I'm going to write it off and move. So it's never happened like that.
Yeah. So great. So that'll be a positive note for a lot of people who are struggling in the residential space. With that, we just want to go to a personal note. Considering that you've been in this industry for quite a while, you're considered one of the leaders in this industry. And especially among the Bangalore real estate fraternity, if you look at it from a national perspective, there's a lot of respect for Bangalore leaders in real estate. Number one, what is it about Bangalore that has created that? And is that the reason why you had chosen to make Bangalore your home market?
2-3 things. One is I think I grew up in Bangalore. I would say by default I was here. But having said that, I think what's important to understand when you come from outside, you will find that the quality of all the branded developers in the city produce the best quality in the country. This city sets a benchmark. So the price value ratio in terms of what you can afford is the best in the country.
Yeah. Why is that? Why
it just inherently was so. It inherently was so.
We can't find the reason.
No, I think when I talk to them, everybody is trying to push the bar and make the product better.
Yeah.
And it's just money will flow, profits will come.
Yeah.
But they just want to and they compete. And then once you're already in an ecosystem, an environment which is highly competitive, then you have no choice but to do that.
Yeah.
So if the same thing if the person had operated in another city, maybe not doing the same stuff.
Yes.
But now that you've come to Bangalore, either if you want to match up and want to grow and want to have a recognition, you might as well build the quality that is being produced by the others.
Yeah. Okay. You've achieved the heights of success in our industry. So a question to you: what drives you? What makes you? What is it that you're driving towards now?
So first of all, I think it's not there that you reach the height of success. That's, I would say, an incorrect sentence. There's no such thing. Till you die, you'll keep doing something or the other. So the point is, I think I look at it. There are many more opportunities now. Right now, it's within India. We have to grow into a few more cities and have strong dominance within those cities. That's stage one. Stage two is overseas. We are also seriously contemplating working in the same knowledge capital industry, supporting them through what we can do in other countries also, which hasn't started yet. That will be the venture 2017 and beyond, where we will be venturing into different countries. Right now, it's only the studies which are being done. So, have you finished? No, we're just early stages.
So and considering that your goal is to be in number 1 or 2 positions wherever you go, so obviously all these markets you're aiming for that. So there'll be
because there's no use having a very small insignificant presence. No need to be symbolic, but you start with small. But the plan is what does it take? That means that the city should have the potential to grow to that scale, to be able to absorb that much growth.
So clearly we're going to see a really long innings ahead and a lot more successes and a lot more RMZ boards in cities across India as well as globally.
Yes,
and
that's the plan for now.
Yeah, with that positive note and with best wishes for that and with the hope that we'll have many more conversations congratulating you of all those achievements, I'd like to end this and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.